This is one of those kind of videos where you find yourself in trouble. You didn't think you broke the law. The cops are telling you, hey, man, that's a switchblade knife. The DA is prosecuting you for this crime. I want to give you some helpful pointers here. First of all, this is for California only. This is not legal advice. These are just informational tips. Just because the DA and the cop says that you broke the law, that doesn't mean that you did. But let's take a look at the knife and tell me what you think. All right, so you go online and you buy a knife, very reputable company, and it's got that feature. Is it a switchblade? I mean, it's obviously a great knife. You're talking to the cops, and they get you for this violation, carrying a switchblade knife. Woof. Here's the Penal Code section, 17235. So a switchblade knife having the appearance of a pocket knife and includes a spring blade knife or any other similar type knife and can be released automatically by a flick of a button, pressure on the handle, flip of the wrist. Switchblade does not include a knife that opens with one hand utilizing the thumb pressure applied solely to the blade of the knife or a thumb stud attached to the blade, provided that the knife has a detent or other mechanism provides resistance must be overcome in opening the blade or that biases the blade back towards its closed position. We took a look at the actual video. They pressed it, boom, there it was. Is that a switchblade? Well, the DA thought so. So what I did is I did some legal research. There are statutory exceptions. Now, your lawyer is always looking for the exceptions to the rule. We go over to this amazing case. Now, I'm here in the 4th Appellate District, Division 3. Unlike some lawyers who like to cite to cases in the state that they don't live in, this is right here in my backyard, the best authority ever. A detent is a way to, it's like spring activated to keep the blade closed once it's shut so that it will not just automatically open. Well, for the exemption to apply, the knife must be one that opens with one hand utilizing thumb pressure applied solely to the blade of the knife or a thumb stud attached to the blade and, so and means both, has the detent or resistance mechanism. I'm glad that our knife had both the thumb stud on the blade and a detent to keep it locked and closed. This is not legal advice, so your results may vary. Now, I have to admit, when I saw that knife open like that, I thought switchblade knife. I could understand why people would just assume that, hey, you know what, I got nailed. It's not fair. I bought it online. No one said it was illegal. And remember, this guy was convicted at the trial court, even with a knife expert saying that it fell within the exemption. It was only reversed on appeal. I wonder how many people have been busted under that statute by buying shit online, thinking that it was okay, and then being told because of authority figures that, hey, you know what, you broke the law, and all the law requires in this instance is possession of it. How about some entertainment from people that watch the channel? The lawyer jokes have caught on. So I'm going to read this. So forgive me for looking down. But he does say, "Good day, mate. An old preacher was dying. He sent a message to two church members, a banker and a lawyer, to come to his home. When they arrived, they were ushered to his bedroom. As they entered the room, the preacher held out his hands, then motioned for them to sit on each side of the bed. The preacher grasped their hands, sighed contentedly, smiled, and stared at the ceiling. For a time, no one said anything. Both the banker and the lawyer were touched and flattered that the preacher would ask them to be with him during his final moments. However, they were also puzzled, as the preacher had never given them any indication that he particularly liked them. They both remembered his many long, uncomfortable sermons about greed, covetousness, and avaricious behavior that made them squirm in their seats. Finally, the banker said, "Preacher, why did you ask us to come?" The old preacher sighed. He mustered up his strength and weakly said, "I'm going to die like Jesus did, between two thieves." I hope you found it entertaining.